Welcome back. This is Troy with stayonthecourt.com. We are going through practice. Well, we're doing a post-mortem on practice 5. If you want to see the preparation part of practice 5, you can go back to the previous video where I go through some of these drills in a little more detail if it is a net new drill. Otherwise, we're getting to a point where we're repeating the drills and just finding the ones that we like. So in practice 5, as always, we have some attendance issues, just lots of other school activities going on. And unfortunately, this was no different. So we had 3 kids that had a music concert that they had to go to. We thought someone would show up for the first part of practice. They did not, which kind of played into what we ended up doing during the practice. So we ended up having 7 kids there right off the bat. Then we had one that showed up about 30 minutes late because he's still playing soccer. And the other kids did not show up. So because we had kind of an odd number at 7, I introduced a game called Warrior Ball. The Warriors are our team mascot. And so I picked up this drill called, well, we call it Warrior Ball, but really you can, whatever your mascot is, it can be, in this case, I picked it up from a coach whose team is the Spartans. So for him, it's Spartan Ball. And I believe that's Coach Collins at Teach Hoops that I grabbed that from. He'd mentioned it on a podcast. So I was looking for something that was something fun, get practice going. I like to have at least 1 or 2 fun games during the practice if I can. Because we haven't had all the kids there, it seems like we're always catching somebody up and don't have as much time for the fun stuff. So we did something called Warrior Ball, and I haven't found a video for it. So I'll kind of walk you through what it looks like here. Don't pay attention to the players here. But we practice on half of a large middle school gym. So we have, a nice full court, half court here. But then, it splits off and there's a hoop here and the hoop over here. So you can play the long way and simulate, full court basketball. So what we do is I split the teams into 4 versus 4. I had to play because we only had 7. And we have the main hoop. And then we had one of the side hoops. And the game is 4 on 4 in this case. Could be 5 on 5 or 3 on 3, however many kids you have. And what they do is you can make baskets at either hoop. So obviously the defense has to cover both hoops. It should spread the floor. I mean, the kids should always be able to make a basket. Now, it was pretty amazing how long it took them to kind of register that. They always kept going to the main hoop. And then eventually they kind of caught on, I would say about 5 to 7 minutes into the drill. And I think I'll call it a success. The kids seem to enjoy it. It has a little bit of chaos in it. So what I did is there's some volleyball lines here. And I just made the kids on a rebound or a change of possession. I just said they had to take it back into that box and then they could go to either hoop. And so the kids enjoyed that, and they did start to space the floor more, and they understand the concept again there by the end of the drill. So I think that was a winner and something we might put in as kind of a fun end of practice game. All right. So from that point, while we were doing the read and react drill, I've gone through that. It's becoming a staple of what we do because we want to do a lot of passing and cutting, passing and back cutting. And we definitely want to emphasize that because in our last game that we lost, the team was in the passing lanes a lot and we did not back cut very well. So we went through that read and react first. The kids seem to get it. We're using it as a pregame drill as well. And they're starting to be able to self-organize. So that has been good. And I even had a parent comment that, I saw one of the kids in the game simulate that drill you guys do. And that is the point. At some point, they will get that. So we did that read and react drill. Then my issue, this practice is our A team practices in the same gym. And they asked if we wanted to scrimmage. So they have about 9 kids. I ended up with 8 there eventually for the scrimmage, but 2 of the kids we were missing would have made a difference. So it was a bloodbath, and it just kind of sped up practice. And I probably shouldn't agree to it or just agree to do like 10 minutes rather than 30. So we practiced for 90 minutes. So we did the read and react drill. Then I wanted to walk through our sideline out of bounds play, which we have not yet to do it set up in a game, but we need a little more practice on that. We did do the baseline out of bounds play a couple times. I really hit that almost every practice, just real quick because it's, when you get that right, it's good for 6 to 8 points in a game. So we did that. I wanted to do this quick reaction shooting and defense drill that I went over in the practice preparation video. We did not get there. We did do this Gatton's drill. I just wanted to show the kids how to really from a kind of a disorganized state. And if you remember the video, they start kind of doing a circle underneath the hoop. Ball goes up. Whoever's closest has to get the rebound the ball or take it in out of bounds, and then they start their transition and a fast break down the court. The downside of that drill is anytime you have kids waiting, it just turns into a disaster very quickly. So I even had the other 3 kids, sit down at the other end of the court, and as we finished the drill, and we had one player shoot the basket, I had them pass balls out to some of the other kids so they could shoot, and that did not go well. So I don't know that I would do this drill again. There's probably some other better ways to simulate that. Or if we had 10 kids, then you could run them in groups of 5 apiece up and down the court and keep everybody occupied. So anyways, that was a mess. So we intended to do the shell drill. That defensive drill tends to get shelved when we start running low on time. I think we did run it for not that long, probably 3 or 4 minutes, just to give them a little taste of getting help side, getting in the lanes, understanding, if they're 1 or 2 passes away. Then we went into a 3-on-3 cutthroat, which, I wanted them to use these read and react principles while we did that. And I like that drill because it keeps all the kids busy. We had 8, and so we had to have a coach play, which was fine. And I just like that it gets them in teams and it gets them excited to get back on the court. And it's just in general, the kids tend to enjoy that competition and all the action that's going on. We did that, and then we intended to get to some rebounding and do a couple more games. But because we agreed to the scrimmage, we scrimmaged for 30 minutes, and our A team just has 3 bigger kids. We have 1 taller kid, and they just kind of overpowered us. So we ended up by the end of the scrimmage, we ended up scoring on a couple of long shots, but it was a bit of a bloodbath. And so I normally don't like to do scrimmages, especially when we have 11 kids total, because it just keeps too many kids on the bench. And with 90 minutes per practice, we just want to get them doing things. That was it for that practice. If you want me to do these on YouTube Live or other streaming services, certainly let me know in the comments. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you are interested in our community or getting on our email list, you can go stayonthecourt.com. There's a couple of subscribes buttons there that are pretty obvious. And otherwise, if you just subscribe to the channel or let me know you want to do these practice planning things live so people can interact and ask questions, I'm certainly willing to do that. That is it. Troy Wallace, stayonthecourt.com. And this was practice number 5 for my 5th grade basketball boys team.